All right, hello everyone. My name is Jaleesa, and I really am grateful for this holistic doula program. Going into the weekend, I definitely felt prepared. I will start by saying that the program itself, the intensive learning, I 1,000,000% felt prepared to enter the hospital and to support the mothers and their babies. Um, Approaching the hospital, of course, I felt, a little bit nervous, but I think that was very natural. And as soon as I entered the space, I felt that like this instinct sort of switched on. I didn't like, especially because we're taught that approaching the birth, like, you can take a time to pray and meditate. So I made sure that I took that advice, and so walking into the hospital, I was confident in everything that I had learned throughout the week.
Okay, so my experience doing the practical aspect of the holistic doula training was, I guess, holistic. That's the word. There's so many different things that I experienced. A lot of positive, of course. It's a blessing to support women during just a transformational, like, what's the word? Uh, I can't remember, but just a transformational moment in their life, and just seeing life come into this realm, into this world, such a beautiful thing.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm gonna get, for this weekend, I'm gonna get my 5 births. After that experience, I had like a high. I came in there kind of tired because it was after class. After that experience, I was kind of high. I'm thinking, I'm sitting in the seat smiling, like, I'm gonna get like 13 babies, I'm gonna get like 20 babies. And so that was my first experience.
Being able to be beside or work with the medical professionals at the hospital was also really great training, because they were there to explain what they're doing. They weren't just doing things. They were saying, okay, you know what, this is vitamin K and this is what we're doing. Okay, now we're weighing the baby and this is what this is for. And being a part of that really helped us to show the flow of childbirth and postpartum, and taking care of the baby.
You definitely need the doctors and like that medical clinical, like, you need that, but also it showed me this weekend why you need the spiritual, the support, the care, the empathy, the compassion. Like, you need both. It goes hand in hand. It shouldn't just be one way or the other.
I had a very, it was beautiful and growing, even at the difficult parts of our experience and the practical um, work that we did as holistic doulas here in Ghana. And I think that my biggest reflection is that the work that we do seems to be very much comes from a state of privilege, that women and families who can afford this type of compassion and care and support should be the only ones who get this type of care. And so I think my biggest reflection is that even women without this financial privilege should still be honored and respected as human beings. They still deserve care. They still deserve love. They still deserve someone holding their hand and supporting them through something that can be both life-changing and devastating, because you never know the outcome of a situation like this.
People didn't really know what a doula was. They didn't know who we were coming for. So, the mothers, they were there, and the midwives just focused on baby, making sure they had a little machine, making sure hearing baby's heartbeat, making sure the heartbeat was strong. It was like really focused on baby. So when we came in, the mothers were really, looking at us like, hey, what are they here for? And after a while, they were everybody was, day 2 and 3, everybody was interacting with us. Everybody was happy to see us. The midwives were, just having a good time with us. But we were there to support.
I think I really had to suspend my personal beliefs about a lot of things in order for me to be of service and care.
It was like everything that I had, read about and heard in class and even practiced in class was coming alive right in front of my eyes.
I didn't know what to expect going in, the delivery room, or I never experienced childbirth before. So, going to the hospital, I was just ready to go. A little nervous, not knowing what to expect. As soon as I came in, there was a birth shortly after. I was in there. I went in. I was just following the nurses around, saying hi to the mothers, seeing what the energy was like in the hospital, and just checking out everything. And I had the privilege of actually being there with Dr. Akua. She called my name. She was like, "Hey, Tyrell." So I came in the room, and baby was almost out. It was a natural birth. Uh, and as soon as I came in the room, the baby's head was already out. And so I was just there, just watching. And shortly, it was about a minute. It took about a minute. The baby was out right away, baby on chest. The mother was very happy. She was good. I believe it was she was a pro. She already had 4 babies.
For the first birth experience, I actually walked in on a birth that had just happened, and I was able to experience for the first time seeing an episiotomy be sewed back up, and it was hard.
For my first actual birth that I assisted in, it's a lot of work. It's not easy, though it's fulfilling, just holding the mom up and having the bed also in between you, kind of in the way, and you're extending your body and just making sure that you're doing what you can and exactly what she needs. And it's a lot, but once you see the head and you're like, wow, the baby's coming, and the baby is now out, it's just like, wow, like all of that I guess that tired feeling and just that strength that you just had to really energetically transmute into that mother, it just was all worth it.
After, we had a young mother. This young mother, it was her first. This was her first child. So I went in. That was a bit of a different experience, because this experience was actually, I had a chance to. I was there with her. I went in, introduced myself, who I was. Asked her, "Can I assist? Can I observe?" She said yes. I immediately stood by her, shoulder side, and was just telling her to breathe, and was just there to support her. And this birth was the difference between this birth and the first one. The first one was very natural. This one, to help the baby, it was come out, as they say, it was a episiotomy. So I had a chance to witness my first episiotomy with this experience.
While I was there, you could clearly see that the mom was confident. And so I was just there by her as her sister, to hold her hand, to remind her, keep breathing, and just allow her, or to, affirm how great of a job that she was doing. And, once the baby was out, we did immediate skin to skin, and you could see that the mom was just so happy and felt the love, of the connection with her and her baby. Then after, when the nurse brought the baby to, get the baby all cleaned up and checked and everything, I was still with the mom, telling her that she did well, like, congratulations, you are so strong, really affirming her. And she even said, "God bless you." And so I feel like that is like the highest form of thanks. And so I definitely received it and felt the love. And it was just as if we knew each other, although, again, there might have been a language barrier, and it was the first time I was ever meeting her. But, that connection that you're able to experience with the mom definitely was beautiful.
Most memorable, I had a lot of memorable experiences. Yeah, I had so many. I think that dually is the opportunity to support young birthing mothers, and in in comparison to some of the older mothers who were kind of surrounding the space, I got to work with 2 young moms, and so just having that care and support, and them being grateful, knowing that there was a language barrier and we couldn't speak the same language really, but to be able to still support them and show them love, which is universal, and to have them after their baby's born say thank you, thank you, thank you.
one of my memorable experiences, a sister doula and I were supporting a mom, and so the delivery beds, there's no back on the delivery bed, so you either the mom is laying straight on her back or she's having to hold herself up like this, and we could tell that the mom was uncomfortable. She even in her language asked us to help sit her up, and although there was a language barrier, like, you can still read energy, and we were still able to gesture and understand each other, and so she kind of just said, and to me that meant, okay, she wants to sit up. And so we supported her in sitting up. We were her backrest for some time, and at some point we could see that the baby was starting to come down because she according to how she was gesturing. And so I said, okay, sis, do you want to turn around? And she wasn't really understanding. I said, okay. So I started to just show her with my body, like, okay, come on your knees, hands and knees. And she said, okay, okay. So we helped her to turn around, and we could see that nature and gravity was running its course, and it was much easier for her rather than her sitting there just trying to hold herself up. And so I definitely felt that it was her support and that she was appreciative, especially at moments where she just rested her head on my shoulder or chest from me holding her, and like that embrace really helped her even feel more confident.
For me, the most memorable experience was during a birth, when the mother was actually on her knees and the process just sped up. I mean, the baby was coming down. You couldn't see the head necessarily, but you can see the changes in her body, and knowing that this baby was moving its way through the birth canal and just supporting her lower back. And I can just imagine how much that helped her even to just deliver the baby, and just having the pressure and the support on her lower back, and the Reiki in it all, and just how fast everything moved. Like, I was shocked.
Mary, her little boy, I was able to hold him while she had a chance to sleep. And as I was holding him, all the mothers in the room, they were just all just midwives and nurses, they were all just gazing at me, looking up, just sneaking a peek, of me bonding with the little boy. So that was a wonderful experience. Every time I looked up, it was somebody looking at me, and they were giving me the thumbs up and smiling. So that was a really good experience to encourage me to keep going and realize, that we are needed. What we do is important to fill in that extra space for the mother and really support them throughout their process.
After they dealt with the baby and wrapped up the baby was handed to me. And with previous births, I had to hold the baby for a little longer due to whether the mom had a C-section or any other things that the mom was still working with on the delivery bed. But this time, because it was such a seamless birth, I just brought the baby directly over to mom, and was able to introduce a baby to her mother, which, whoa, that's like a privilege, such a privilege. And so I had introduced the baby and mom, and like right away mom's instinct said, okay, let me feed. So it was the fastest bonding experience that I was able to observe and support.
I've done this work for a while, and I've done it for people with money. I've done it for people who were maybe middle class in comparison to someone who is deemed third world. And so to have this experience, to be alongside and support women who would have no one if we weren't there, has changed my life.
We're outside. His name was Joshua, and he'll have a whole bunch of bananas. So I'll buy the bananas, and I'll give out the bananas to the mothers. So it was just a really good experience, just supporting the mothers and just seeing the environment change and knowing that we're really serving a purpose and we're here to help.
There's just so many things that I saw in like a span of like 30 hours, and I couldn't have had a much better training experience. Like, I just saw so much. So this was just so beautiful, and I would recommend it to anybody who's had any sort of inkling of wanting to work with children or work with pregnant moms, or even the postpartum aspect. Wherever you feel you're being drawn, like, definitely click the link or join the program and see where it takes you, because it's not just about supporting others, it's also showing you about yourself and just how multidimensional you are.
At first, when I first started the program, I started the program or joined the program, sort of as like a professional study. And, just so I can have the information, just in case if one day I had to support with the birth, I'd be able to be there. And, now after experiencing this, like I'm a doula. Like that is my work. That is some of the work that I do. And I'm so grateful.